Okay, Dua, are you there? Hello? Hello? Anyone? Anyone? Okay. Hello? Oh, yes, I can hear you now. Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Anything better? Oh, okay, guys. Okay, let's start the lesson. Now, we have just stopped on page 155, right? We were commenting on the art. We're going to complete. So, okay, let's continue now. Page 16. Oh, again, I haven't worked over here. 56 till 59, 58. 50, let's start. Okay. Now, next slide here. How can we protect people? Okay. So here, the on the web page, if you see through your book, it's been written that in Sundarbans area, Bangladesh villages are very close to tiger territory. You know, the southern because the southern Asian country, the one of the territory of the tiger, especially the Indian Bangladesh area. Usually, the tigers are afraid of human beings. They naturally they don't attack humans unless we interfere in their natural habitat, as well as we are going to cause trouble in their territory, or also the shortage of the food due to the self-protection, due to the hunger issue. Sometimes the tiger attack human, as I have recorded. But recently they killed some villagers and their domestic animals during the night. Tigers are endangered species, shouldn't be killed, but the villagers need to protect themselves and their animals as well. And Bangladesh, many the farmers, let's say, they live near the forest area, the village. There are many villages over near the forest area. So those villagers, their food is depends on their farm and their livestock. It brings them danger. I mean, the tiger brings danger to them because, as I said, due to the hunger issue, they attack the villagers' animal. Also, the villagers has to go into the forest to collect the wood or food, the plants. So they are. This is the one of the reasons that they are being attacked. So the following page is about the project about how to help the humans as well as the tigers living closely but sometimes safely. So next page, let's have a look at the vocabulary. Okay, are we going to? I have prepared already. Straight means to move or move. Okay, not the not the move. Straight means a straight person or thing, especially in domestic animal. Some animals has been abandoned, or they call it a street. They call it a straight person or street people or a street dog. Prowl, it means move about stealthy or restless in the search of, or in the search of prey. For example, that tiger is a predator animal, tiger, lion, so they prowl. And also innovative. Innovative it means that the future new method of original ideas. that is bringing a new idea, a new method for the idea. The next one is systematic plan or arrangement for something. It's called same. To reduce or to make it less or become smaller or the less in amount or in the size. Ensure it means to make certain that will occur or be so. To making sure, to ensure, make it certain. Escalate means increase rapidly. Anticipation is an action of anticipation, opposite of participation. Deter, it means discourage from doing something by instilling the instilling future consequences. Okay, so this is the vocabulary. It was a simple. So let's see the next slide. What we're going to talk about the so this is one of the story about how the dogs protected the villagers from the man-eating tiger. In Bangladesh, the man-eating tiger, which attack human or sometimes has been eaten. The tiger has eaten the human. So hey, you're going to read the story and you're going to listen, and plus we're going to make a slide that highlight some words as well as some questions to answer. So here, the Sundarbans meat-eaters kill 50 people every year. It's a big number. January 2009. The stray dogs in Bangladesh are being trained to stop prowling tigers going into villages as a part of an innovative conservation. So usually they use the dog. The street dog is means street dog, right? The wild dog, they're not domesticated or they're being abandoned. So they are using those dogs in that area, right? To let the tiger to stop upholding village animals. So following the tragic news that the 3 people were killed last week in Sundarbans by tigers, conservationists from the Zoological Society of London are hoping that dogs can play a role in saving human life. For the first time, dogs are being used to help protect men from life. So this domestic animal must play a serious role between the tiger and human to balance, to lead them, to let them coexist together with the peace, in peace. So dogs will help also reduce the number of tigers being killed by poachers, helping protect this important endangered animal. We need to protect the human as well as that endangered species, which is tiger in our case. So working field staff working on tiger conservation and research in the Sundarbans mangrove forest in Bangladesh have a tough job persuading the locals to protect endangered Bengal tigers because of that danger. So basically, researchers and the area people, they are working on how to live in peace together in that area. Mangrove, if you see the picture over here, mangrove swamp. Swamp, if you can see that the bottom is a water, on the top is the grasses, and as well as the forest. That area we call it mangrove. Next. Okay. So here, here I'm going to make some notes over here. So this of protecting a tiger as well as human. So the researchers, scientists, the zoologists, and the locals, the communities, are working together to protect the fisheries. Okay, working on this project together. So one of the project one of the plan what they are using is the stray dog. How do they use a stray dog? To stop the tigers, falling to the villagers and their life, livestock is basically their cow, sheep, goats, the animal that they have it in the domesticated to take care of their life. So they are really working on this matter seriously, and the reason is that human needs the areas. Human needs to live safely in that in those areas, let's say, in those areas, and also tigers need to be protected because tiger is endangered animal around the world. That's why. So this is the story is about. So basically, this is a project protecting tiger as well as a human. Zoologists and the communities are working on this project together. One of the plan is that using the stray dog to stop tigers falling to the villagers as well as their livestock. So humans need to live safely in those areas as well as the tigers, and also tigers need to be protected because of because it is an endangered animal around the world. Okay. So now let's move on to the next slide. What is it about? Here. Save it, and this one, and then next slide. Here we have the facts, information about the tigers in the areas and zoologists, what they have to stop down here. The world's largest mangrove, largest mangrove and defeated 500 tigers. Sundarbans form the largest, this area itself. Okay, the Sundarbans form the world's largest mangrove forest, which is also registered as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Right? Heritage Site. The forests are dense, very dense, rich with the wildlife, provide many resources for local communities, and so the area itself, not only for the wildlife, as well as the community, the local communities, people who are living nearby, is very rich, resourceful area. So they are also home to one of the largest surviving population of wild tiger, approximately 3,500. They can stay there safely because of the environment, due to the food, the food cycle, life cycle. One of the most, it is also one of home for those tigers. So also the tiger is also one of the predators. We call them beasts, right? Men in this. But one of the top predators of the forest, ensuring that survival keeps the wildlife of the forest in balance. Because predators and the beasts, they on this earth, they play the big role to keep the nature in a balance. The weeks, they clean, let's say they can clean the environment from increasing in big number, and also themselves, their forces together to protect. That's a natural protectors. Yeah. So around 50 people are killed in each year by the tiger of the forest in that area. Those people are who work on the near the forest. It's only understood completely because that a tiger become man-eaters, but it is tough. It is thought that some older or sick, injured tigers may find hunting animal easier than the other animal, you know, easier than an other animal. So that this is the reason that the human conflict rises here. Human conflict in Sundarbans is escalating despite the tigers being legally protected since 1974. But still many are killed in response or in anticipation of attack. So one of the reasons is that villagers, they will hunt them down to protect their food and their animal, their uh, children. This is is the increasing in the number of the amount. That's the main conflict issue over here in this area. People, they need to live in that area peacefully, but as well as however, the tigers in that area are being protected since 1974. So we cannot blame none of it. The next part here, the Zoological Society in the London is working with conservationists in various projects to conserve tigers. One of them is that we have mentioned earlier, to train the stray dogs to act alarm for any prowling tigers to come close to the village borders. By the alerting to the tiger's presence, the tiger can be frightened away instead of being hunted and killed. So that's when they're trying to keep the distance between the human as well as the tiger in order not to create a conflict. So they are using the stray dogs to work a big role in this part. Although using dogs to protect humans from animal predators isn't a new idea. It is not an idea, but it's just innovation. It is the first time they have been used in the battle to save tigers from the extinction. Okay. So, this extraction, this story tells about that how the tiger and human having the conflict in coexisting in that area. They are harmed. And then plus they are bringing up the project. It's giving the extra information about the previous story. Okay. So now uh, here, our next slide shows our talking point that shows that we need to discuss on this point of the story as well as that we're going to answer the comprehension part here. For example, the conservationists, scientists, artists, and the villagers who live in or near the Sundarbans mangrove forest all have different concerns when it comes to the subject of tiger. That means also that, for example, conservationists, those parts of people, they're going to protect, but scientists also they play a role, and as well as the artists, they have their own point of view. But who is having the most realistic experience is the villagers who live nearby that area. So that means they're going to have a conflict, and that means they have their own point of view, especially in that forest, because the 3,500 tigers and a big number of tigers living there, because usually tigers will be not in one area, 3,500, because endangered, especially we know that the Siberian tiger and the Bangladesh area, southern India area. So here, uh, tiger become one of the biggest subjects and biggest conflict of that area. So what now our question is, how can they help each other in coming to a better understanding of a better understanding about tiger? You might come up with another question that let's say we can say that hold on. how they can help each other come into better understanding about it. Some people, they might think of it, for example, the villagers, they think, you know what, we don't need a tiger all around this area, they remove them, and it's attacking, it's making our life is dangerous to live around. They might think that, but tiger itself, we I want to make one point. Having tiger is important because tiger itself plays big role in the wildlife. Why? Tiger hunts down the animals, keeps the animals number down. So who usually predators attack the animals who's weak, sick, or older. That means the predators usually we call them natural cleaner. Who's the stronger one, they will survive. Who's the weaker one, who is the older one, who is the weaker one, predators, they eat them so that in this case they can clean the herd. So natural cleaning. That's why the keeping the tiger number is important. As well as our human life is important as well. So let's make some point over here. And let me see my another screen. I'm going to show you a new screen. So as I said, tiger, again, tiger. Why do we need tiger? The reason is that we call them natural cleaner. Why? Because they hunt down the other animals fast, weak, weak, old, or sick ones will be hunted by predators. Okay, so you have to why we are writing this one down, because we need to learn to express our own opinion in each topic clearly, finding out the reason and last we have to express. Therefore, we need to protect the animal. This is the reason that we need the beast. Okay. This is the reason we need the beast. Okay. And also, as human, they need to protect themselves. They need to protect themselves in order to protect themselves. Some cases they kill the tiger. They kill tigers for their own protection. So in order to exist, for the to coexist, the third part needs to involve in it. Which are which is expert involvement. Okay. I think that is enough for us today. Okay, this part I think it's enough. So now, here, not our question was about how can they help each other in coming to better understanding about tigers. The reason is here, as I have mentioned here, they need the third party's involvement. Parties, sorry, yes, parties. Is number one, third party. Sorry, this wasn't clear, so okay. Third parties need to involve. Third party. Third party. I'm going to just have. What does it mean, party? That means a third member or other someone else or extra people or extra party. Third party so involvement. So another question here. The main one, how they can help each other. Question is how they can help each other. How they can help each other is that there have to be communication. There has to be communication. This communication will be established by it should be should, should be established by community as well as the actors. This way they can understand each other. Before anyone do anything else, they need to understand it. So this is how you're going to make your point on the questions or to express your opinion, okay? So now let's go to our old screen. Here, here. What can be done to protect tigers in villages? That was obvious. I have previous page. I have explained, right? What can be done to protect our tigers in villages? We have said we have used stray dogs. Also, some. This was one of the project. Plus, we can have our own opinion on this part. For example, the villagers they should use, maybe they can isolate their living conditions far away from the forest, or maybe some other ideas. So you can think of anything. You can express yourself. Most important is you come up with your idea, and then you brainstorm your idea, and then you're going to put your idea in your thought, and then you can write it, express it a better way. You can write it and edit it. So now, next one, comprehension. Explain the conflict between tigers and villagers. This was obvious. I believe I have answered. What do the conservationists and the Zoological Society of London want to achieve? What they want to achieve is what? Achieve is finding and peaceful coexist. That's what I would say short. How can the stray dogs be used to help the villagers in the suburban? To stop tigers crawling to the village. Crawling is just to crawling, that means that preparing to attack or to eat the village. How did the villagers traditionally protect themselves from tigers? And do you think this new protection will work? Why or why not? So in this 2 point, I would like you to make your own point because today I have explained enough. More than that, that I have explained enough. So, don't just stick to the script or the text. When you answer the question, you discuss about the talking point. Use your mind wisely and come up with your own idea and express it through speaking as well as the writing. This is the most important practice to work on comprehension and reading section. Okay, so I'm going to end my lesson for today by this one. So please, next time we're going to read the other stories. So next time, please make sure come and attend to your lesson carefully and attend to your lesson and be punctual and try to catch up with us as much as you. So see you next time. Bye for now.